and welcome to the UK GradFest 2020. I'm Nadia and I'm a graduate from ArtsEd, and today our wonderful cast will be performing our version of House and Garden by Alan Ayckbourn. You're currently watching Garden, but our fantastic actors will be performing both plays at the same time on two different Zoom calls, as the show is a diptych, which means that the plays are linked and are usually performed in the same theatre in different auditoriums. You can catch the other part of this diptych on YouTube as it's being live streamed on the Grad Fringe Fest YouTube channel, along with all the other amazing plays that have been directed and performed by some super talented graduates. We wanted to direct this play because we read it in our Corona Days play club, and it was just so silly and fun and witty and silly and joyful, and we thought it would be a great way to bring it to life whilst also being a great challenge. Before we start, we'd like to shout out our play club. We'd like to thank Alice and Liam for putting this whole festival together and giving us the opportunity to create something. We'd like to thank Jack Cray and Cynthia Chung for all their enthusiasm and technical support. You've been amazing. I'd personally like to thank Charlie for being such a wonderful person to work with. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the wonderful cast who have put heaps of effort in and who have inspired us every day of rehearsal. We've honestly made some great friendships from this, no matter what happens tonight. If you take a look at the chat box, there'll be a link where you can donate to our chosen charities, Industry Minds and Black Lives Matter UK. We've been suggesting a donation of £2, however, we know that's not always possible. So instead, you can read more about the charities and the amazing work they do and share information around the Grad Fringe Festival. You can also find out more about other performances and events on the Twitter page, which is @GradFringeFest, and the Instagram page, which is @GradFringeFestival. The show has an approximate running time of 2 hours with a short 5-minute interval in between. So please grab any drinks and snacks you'd like to have with you. And as you can imagine, running 2 plays at once on Zoom has many technical aspects. So please be patient with us and wish us luck. Bear with us as we set up for the run, get comfortable and enjoy. Thank you.
Garden by Alan Ayckbourn. Act 1, Scene 1. Saturday, August 14th, 8 AM. Part of the garden of the house, known as the Lower Meadow. It is reached from the terrace at the back of the house via a more formal garden and then down a flight of stone steps. The area is not quite as informal as perhaps its name suggests, but merely the lower part of a much larger garden which has been allowed to grow wild. As a reminder of this, in the middle there is a murky-looking, overgrown stone pond with a central fountain which long ago ceased to function. The remaining area is rather flat and uneventful, surrounded by bushes with the odd gap for a pathway. However, shortly, this is the place where the full paraphernalia of an English garden fete will be assembled and erected. Trestle tables, tents, stalls, sideshows, and roped-off areas intended for special displays, including, in this case, children's maypole and adult Morris dancing. It is long past dawn, but the place still has an air of peace, not yet shattered by human intrusion. Birds are in full song. The sky is unsettled. Later, it could well rain. Joanna, a woman in her late 30s, tense and anxious and behaving decidedly suspiciously, enters. She looks nervously towards the house, and then hearing someone coming, hurriedly hides in the bushes.
There you are then. I brought your lemonsies. You got them early, I'm busy today. Oh. Going to rain, you reckon? Shame that. Wash out garden fate then, won't it? Rained last year. Rains every year. One thing keep her out of trouble anyway. I'm not having it again this year, Warren. I'm not having it. She monkeys about in that little tent of hers. I've warned her. I won't be questionable. Fortune telling, she calls it. Fortune telling? Bloody gypsy rose with half her ass showing. Fortune's not in her face, whatever else. No, I won't have it this year. I won't have it. She's a pyromaniac, that girl. She needs a father before she runs out of control completely. 23 years old next February. Time she had a father. We've got to do right by her, Warren. What's past is past. There ain't no use crying over spilt milk. It's all flowed under the bridge now you think about it. What's that then? That them. Them in it? What are they up to in there? Grown people in bushes. Patricia, I feel sorry for her. She won't be found dead in no bushes. Trying to smile like it ain't happening. Whole village knows, doesn't it? Not right for her. Admiral's daughter she were. She were bred for better. No, they're shameless, those two. Like rhinos in rut. Teacher, she's more like a prostitute. Wouldn't have no child of mine taught by her, I can tell you. No, not that Pearl needs much teaching. I've told her she misbehaves today and she'll feel my restitution. I'll bring you lunch down later.
Will you stop that racket at once? Now, come on. Come on. Good boy. Come here, Spoof. Fetch, Spoof. Fetch the stick. Good boy, Spoof. Spoof, will you come back here at once, you bloody stupid animal? Right. That's it. I'm putting you down this time. That's your lot. This time, I'm having you put down. Come on, boy. What you found, boy? Found a rabbit, boy? What the hell have you got in there?
Get off! Get off! Get off! Oh, that bloody dog! Look what it's done to my dress. Can't you control it at all, Teddy?
It's your own fault. You shouldn't be hiding in bushes. He's a hunter. He must keep a wildlife. Those dogs were originally bred for hunting. It's basic instinct. He scents something in a bush, he'll flush it out.
Lethal.
What were you doing in there, anyway?
Hiding.
Hiding?
From that gardener.
Warm? He wouldn't say anything.
He was with that housekeeper of yours?
Is he?
Mm.
Yes, you do well to avoid her. The other one's all right.
Pearl, is he still living with both of them?
Apparently.
Oh, can't believe it. Even in this village. Do they all, in the same bed?
Don't ask me. I just pay him to dig. I don't inquire. I pay him to dig, her to housekeep, and the daughter to meander around the house breaking things as far as I can gather. Oh, look out! No. These are Gregorius maximosa with the bigger flowers but much smaller leaves.
Oh, how interesting.
Morning, Jake.
Hello, Jake.
Hi, Mum.
Thought you were having a lie-in this morning.
No, I have to I have some things,
Right. Mr. Teddy was just showing me these interesting shrubs.
Oh, yes, great. Right, well, see you later.
Right, yes.
Cheerio, Jake.
Dad's just in the kitchen having breakfast.
Oh, good. He knows. He definitely knows.
Well,
Which means Sally must know as well.
not
No,
necessarily.
obviously, they're good friends. Jake will have told Sally, assuming she doesn't know already, and Sally will have told her mother. She will have told Trish.
Not necessarily.
Daughters always tell their mothers everything.
No, they don't.
Well, I always tell my mother everything.
Have you told her about us?
Don't be silly. Of course I haven't.
There you are then.
Oh, the thought of Trish ever finding out. No, I couldn't face it. Giles doesn't know, I'm fairly certain. Although he and Jake... all they ever talk about is football.
Well, I'm glad about that. I mean, Giles and I go a long way back. I think I'm practically his best friend. Poor bloke.
Well,
What?
you asked to see me. Urgently, you said.
Yes. Will you come up there? Up, bad boy, back!
Shh!
Did you see that? He was trying to dig up that sapling. Most dogs are content to just pee on them. He has to dig the bloody things up first. Yes. You sit there, good boy. Yes, you eat that. Whatever it is. Looks like someone's head.
I just don't know how we can have secret meetings if you insist on bringing that dog along.
He's my alibi. Why else would I be wandering about at the crack of dawn? Besides, he needs the exercise. Poor bastard.
Wouldn't it be wonderful, Teddy, just once, to meet indoors? I just suddenly have this longing for the great indoors. I mean, flat on my back in all of those summer houses and potting sheds and gazebos, ditches. God, how could I ever face Giles if he found out? I mean, I've loved every second of it, you know. Of course I have. But wouldn't it be wonderful, Teddy, just once, to lie together in clean sheets? I mean, we're getting a little bit old, aren't we? Well, I am. Beginning to feel the wear and tear a bit. That's all. I mean, my back's playing up again. And then the other day when that bloody dog jumped on us. No, I mean, let's face it. We're not teenagers anymore, are we?
That was what I was, listen, I'm glad, in a way, that you've, said all of that, because, this will probably come as a bit of a relief in that case. I had it all worked out. I think it's got to stop.
Stop?
Afraid so.
What has?
Well, us.
You're joking.
No,
You're joking me. Just like that. No, I can't believe it. You're joking. Teddy, please tell me you're joking.
I'm sorry. From what you were saying just now, I thought perhaps it might have been a relief.
No, tell me what I've done. Is it me? Tell me what I've done.
No, it's not. It's not anything you've done, Joe. It's not you. Not at all. It's not you. It's just... Well, things are getting a bit out of hand.
With Joe, with Trish, even. You mean with Trish?
Well, partly, yes, but...
Oh, so she does know. Sally has told her. Trish does know. I knew it.
No, she doesn't. I swear she doesn't know. At least I don't think she does. Joe.
Listen, Teddy, I didn't mean all those things I said just now. I'm perfectly happy with the sheds, you know. I really am. I was just saying...
Joe, Spoof, will you stop that at once? It's just that circumstances have changed.
Tell me what I have to do, Teddy. What I have to do to get you back. I'll do anything. I'll change.
No.
Whatever you want.
No, really, you don't want to do that. Don't change a hair. It's me. I'm just a bastard who's walking away. An selfish, egotistic, self-centered, licentious, egocentric bastard. God. Sometimes I get so filled with self-loathing.
Shh. You're none of those things. You're a wonderful lover. I couldn't bear it if you stopped making love to me. You've brought me alive again, Teddy. I was dead, and you brought me back to life.
Oh, no, don't talk like that, Joe. You make me sound like some bloody faith healer. No, forget all about me. Put me out of your mind, Joe. Out of your life.
How can I?
It's the only way.
We're all supposed to be having lunch together anyway.
Oh, God, are we?
It's the garden fete.
Oh, God, yes, of course.
Maybe we could all live like your gardener does. All together in the same house. You, me, and Trish. All together.
No, I don't honestly think that's a frightfully good idea, Joe.
I wouldn't mind. I've got no pride.
No, but I don't think that sort of thing would be Trisha's bag. No, not at all. Listen, I've got to get back, Joe. I'm sorry.
Can I see you tonight? Will we meet tonight?
We best not, Joe. Really, really and truly. Okay, listen, I've got this meeting with someone important in a minute.
Go on then. Go.
I'll see you around. But lunch, I suppose. We'll both just have to put on a brave face, won't we? Yes. I really hate to leave you like this. I must get water to fix that fountain. There's a blockage somewhere. That's all it is. I'm sure of it. You know, as a child, I remember it used to look quite spectacular. Yes. Spoof! Aha! Come then, boy. Come on. Biscuit. Let's go and get a biscuit. That's a good boy. Away you go. Keep up with that. How many more times, you stupid dog?
Yes, it'll be a fella. Only bugger make you cry like that'll be a fella. No offence, don't mind me saying, do you?
No, thank you.
Got a good bloke there, that one, mind me saying. Not the other one, your husband. You ought to try and hang on to him. Good bloke he is.
Yes, thank you.
Good doctor and all. Some of them don't give a stuff, but he sat up all night with my friend's kid. Terrible fever. All night. Not many of them do that. Not on the National Bloody Health, they don't. Hello, here he is. Better give the bugger his 11s then, all else fails. Feed him, eh? There you are. Looking for you.
Be there long, are you?
Sorry. Oh, do you want me to move? Don't worry. I'll move. Sorry.
One will be wanting to mow, like, lest you want to get mowed.
Oh, yes, of course. Mow. You'll be wanting to mow, won't you? For this afternoon. For the garden fete. Don't worry. I'll move. Don't worry.
Lest you want to get mowed.
Yeah.
Cheaper than waxing them. Eh? Are you all right then?
Yes. Thank you. I know precisely what I need to do now. Yes. Thank you. You know, precisely.
Hello, darling. What are you doing here?
Nothing. I was...
Are you all right?
You're fine.
You look a bit...
No!
She gets this terrible hay fever. My colleague prescribed these drops, but she never takes them. Typical. I think it might hold off. The rain, don't you think? Hope so. Pretty firm ground. Pretty firm. Take a bit of spin. No, I was thinking underfoot. We've got the Morris dancing team today. We're doing a little display, usually quite popular. I think people enjoy it. I think they do. All part of our common cultural and social heritage. Unites us all in a funny way. Rich and poor, young and old. Great level of the dance, don't you think?
A bit of a laugh.
Well, possibly, yes. Got the maypole too this year, really branching out. That's my wife's project. Joanne has been rehearsing them for weeks. Some of her class, that is. I saw rehearsal the other night. I think they've really got into the swing of it. Try and catch it if you can. See what you think. I think you'll be impressed. Well, must get on. Excuse me.
He's all right, poor bloke. She don't know when she's well off. I'd take her off her hands. Bit boring, but not a bad looker. Being a doctor could be handy, you know, like being married to a plumber. If you spring a leak, he'll fix it for you. Here, bought you your Levinses. Busy day today, got all them people coming for lunch, doing my silver service. I nearly got it off, lest we have sprouts. I'm all over the place with bloody sprouts. I can do carrots if they're cut long, you know, and beans. I've mastered beans. Runner beans, not them broad buggers. They're right bastards. I had them everywhere last time. We were picking them up for months. I don't know why they don't just bung it all on a plate and have done with it like normal people. Mum's on the warpath. Been watching us all day. We better not do nothing this year, Warren. She'll be watching us. She can get right balmy, you know that. Like when she went at us with that hot iron, you remember? Bloody lucky it weren't still plugged in, you remember? First time she caught us in bed together, you remember? That were a right laugh. Still, that were before, it's different now. Circumstances have changed. That's all I'm saying, know what I mean? I don't care. Don't matter to me. I never ask anything of anyone. Liberty Hall I am, but my mum, well, anyway, you suit yourself. Be nice to get settled though, wouldn't it? Get a bit of peace then. You suit yourself. Between you and me mum, nothing to do with me. I'm easy. I don't care. Bloody garden fates, eh? Bet you're looking forward to it, ain't ya? Ain't ya? You love them, don't you? Make your bloody year, don't they? All your lawns churned up, people parking all over your verges. Bloody pig got loose last year, you remember? Dug up half your bloody veg. I hope we have that army in again. They're all right. Big lads shooting each other up in every which way. Nuclear war, they'd be off like bloody rabbits, wouldn't they? Got a film star today. French one. You were in a film, the uninspiring, I don't know, I never seen it. She gets blown up early on, Deirdre told me, but she's good while it lasts. You ought to clean this pond out. It's disgusting. You ought to get a stick and clean it out.
Pearl, Izzy's looking for you.
All right. Thank you, Sally.
It seems there's something you haven't yet done that you're supposed to have done.
Yes, I'll go do it now. Be my evening, I expect.
All right, Warren?
No.
Ready for the invasion this afternoon? Don't blame me, blame my mum. I always say there's nothing can set you up more for the day than a good conversation with Warren.
You were standing just over there,
I see.
quite close together, pretending to look at the shrubbery. Your dad was showing my mum the shrubbery.
Oh,
He hadn't even bothered to learn the right terms.
well, At least they were both standing up.
Just.
There's nothing we can do, Jake. I've said it. If they don't want to talk about it, what can we do? I know what I'd like to do. Get them all together in one room, sit them down and say, come on, you stupid lot, now sort yourselves out. But somehow I don't think that's going to happen because that's not the way they do things.
I just hope my dad never finds out. He's a really decent guy, you know. He really is. He's devoted to Mum. It would just destroy him.
Perhaps he's tougher than you think, Jake. People can surprise you sometimes.
Still don't understand why Mum... I mean, no disrespect to your dad, but...
Oh, say what you like about him. I don't care.
My dad, he's just got this incredible faith in people. He trusts. He's always determined to find the good side. You hear him reading the paper in the morning. Oh, I don't think this man really meant to cut his wife's throat, you know. He's probably showing her his new razor, that's all. It's just amazing, someone of his age, really. Most people by then are just eaten up with mistrust and cynicism, you know. He somehow survived all that.
Must be nice to love your parents.
Don't you love your mum?
Sometimes. Sometimes she drives me up the wall. Like now. Why won't she talk about it? She knows, we all know she knows. Yet she behaves as if it isn't happening.
It's her way of coping.
Well, maybe. But it's very tough on the rest of us. On me. Tell me, do you think I am...
What?
Nothing. Just something someone says.
You're what?
Selfish. Do you think I'm selfish?
No.
You don't think I take advantage of people? Use them?
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
I don't either. It's rubbish, isn't it? Parents talk utter rubbish sometimes, don't they? They give birth to you, and as you grow up, they immediately start reading themselves into you, whether they're there or not. It starts innocently enough with innocuous physical features. Oh, look, she's got my nose. Isn't that sweet? But it finishes out, oh, look, she's got all your megalomania. Isn't that terrible? It's guilt, that's all. I am selfish, therefore surely you must be selfish as well.
Possibly.
You got a lot on this morning?
No, why?
Good. Then you can wait for me at the school and bring me back if you like.
Sure. I've got nothing till this afternoon, till my interview with Madame Lucille Cadeau.
Yes, of course. Ace Mays, boy reporter, big deal.
She's the best bit in the movie, actually. It's a pity she gets blown up so early on.
Been dreaming about her, have you?
No, of course not.
Oh, je suis à vous pour toujours, mademoiselle. Je vous aime. Prenez-moi, je suis à vous.
Sally, knock it off.
Embrassez-moi, mon amour. Prenez mon corps et faites en ce que vous désirez. Je suis votre esclave pour toujours, ma chère Lucille, mon amour.
Sally. Sally.
Got your notebook?
Yeah.
Inside your Ace Mays briefcase?
Give it a break. It's just till I go to college, that's all.
Ah, you bugger.
Bourne, I've just taken some of these for the table, all right? Yes, I think that's a yes. Jolly good. Dear God, he'll rupture himself. We must get a new mower or a new gardener.
Oh, Trish.
Joe, hello.
Trish.
How are you today? Feeling any better?
Better?
Yes. Haven't you had terrible hay fever? Someone was saying. Giles, probably.
Trish.
I think it'll stay fine.
Trish.
Forecast says rain.
I have something to say
But
to
then
you.
they're always getting it wrong, aren't they?
Patricia, please. I have something to say to you. to tell you. It's something I would give anything in the world not to have to tell you. I would rather cut off both my arms than tell you. But you have to be told, and I can't live with myself another minute unless I do tell you.
Oh dear.
And yet, now I've decided to tell you, I can't quite find the words.
You and Teddy are fucking each other.
Yes.
There. That wasn't too difficult, was it?
How did you know?
Oh, come on. Credit me with some intelligence. For heaven's sake, Joe. Between you, you've flattened every bloody bush in the garden cavorting around.
That's not true.
Every flower bed's imprinted with your wretched rear end. I don't mind, Joe. Really, I don't. Not that it would make a blind bit of difference if I did mind. But no, I don't give a tinsel fairy's fart what you do. But just don't come snivelling to me when Teddy decides to dump you, which he obviously already has. You want a shoulder to cry on? Find someone else's. All right.
Do you really hate me, Trish?
No, I don't hate you. Frankly, I think you're a very, very stupid woman, Joe. But then I always thought that, even before all this.
No, I am.
God knows how you managed to teach anyone.
They're only 5-year-olds.
They've still got to be brighter than you. Oh, do blow your nose.
What's going to happen now, do you think?
Well, you've had your romp. Now you have to face up to it all, don't you? That's how it works. You've told me. Now you better go and tell your husband.
Giles! No, I couldn't tell Giles.
Of course you must.
No, I couldn't. I
Oh, Joe, for heaven's sake, woman.
No, you don't know him, Trish. It would kill him if he found out. He's the most trusting man in the world. He'd trust me with his life.
Well, then he's an idiot as well, isn't he? All right. If you won't tell him, I will.
No!
Someone's got to tell him, Joanna. Otherwise, it's only going to be left for him to find out for himself. Accidentally, of course. Probably in the village pub. And that is definitely not the way. That is no way to treat anyone. Giles is up at our house now. I'll send him down to you. Wait here.
No, I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry.
You have to. It's the price you pay. Don't go away. See you at lunchtime. And I expect you there, Joe. You can wreck my marriage, but I'll never forgive you if you ruin my luncheon party.
Trish. Oh, God. Okay. Giles, I've something to tell you. I've been having this affair. It was just a meaningless fling. It meant nothing. It was just animal lust. Oh, God. It was all about that bass. No treble. Okay. Oh, for God's sake, Giles, like a film. Good, yes, for God's sake, Giles, it was just an affair, just a silly little affair. What's so special about it? No! Giles, I've just reached this point in my life where I'm at a crossroads. Teddy just happened to be the one standing at the sign. It could have been anyone, Giles. It could have been you. Oh, God.
She takes courage and climbs into the parapet. Warren re-enters with a signpost reading, "To the home farm." He climbs the steps, staring down at the lawn, inspecting it, and failing to notice Joanna. As he draws level with her, Joanna gives another little cry. Warren turns slightly at the sound, inadvertently clipping Joanna with the end of the signpost and knocking her off the parapet. Crash as she lands on the mower. The engine roars briefly and dies with a final splutter. Silence. A plume of smoke rises above the parapet. Warren, incredulous and speechless, walks to the parapet edge and looks over. From below, a moan from Joanna.
Oh, God. Forgive me.
What is it? What's happening? Warren, what's going on? Joe? Are you all right? Warren, what happened to her?
Bloody women.
Wait there, darling. Don't try and move. Don't try and move. Joe? Joe?
Giles.
What happened, darling? What is it?
No,
What?
don't touch me.
What?
Don't touch me. You mustn't touch me!
What is it?
Giles, Giles, I've been hoping. Giles, I've been trying. Giles, I've been wanting. No, Giles, I've been so.
You've been what, darling? You've been what?
I've been having an affair with Teddy.
Teddy!
Yes.
Teddy!
Oh God.
Reckon we're in for a storm. The bugger.
As he sits there, chewing contentedly, the lights fade to blackout. Act 1, Scene 2, 11 a.m. The same. The grass, unsurprisingly, remains unmown. It is still overcast. Pearl enters from the house. She has another, slightly larger sandwich box. She stops and looks around.
Lunch! Where are you hiding then?
Right, that's it. Come on, with me. With me. Yes. Just there. 1, 2.
Woo! She's loaded today, isn't she? She's loaded today as our Winnie.
Certainly is. Right down on her axles. That's why I was driving so slowly.
Yes.
Ready for the next?
So far, so good with the weather.
Thus far.
Don't you dare, Rain. You hear me? Don't you dare.
Oi! There you are, bought you your lunch. Is it you who took down all them signs then? It were, weren't it? It were you, you old bugger. You do it every year, don't you? Soon as the fates here, down come all the signs. Nobody can find the way in or out of the place. If I didn't know you better, one coucher, I'd say you done that deliberate. Look, there's my little tent over there. Are you going to put it up for me? Well, as long as someone does. I'll be laughing if it rains. Only one sitting in the dry, won't I? I'll have queues round the block. She's in a fury, my mum. Their dinner's spoiling because half of them are late. Probably because you uprooted all the signs. They're all driving around the country looking for the main gate, I bet. Anyway, she said by the time that they arrive, the beat will be indelible. Indelible? Good one, that. You get it? Indelible. Piss ignorant old bag she is. See you later.
No, I'm sorry. I just cannot believe it.
Right.
How people could be so thick, so dim, so stupid, so short-sighted. It's unbelievable.
Well,
Unbelievable.
I wasn't at the meeting, of course, but it certainly sounds as if
Those are supposedly mature, intelligent sixth formers, the so-called cream of the school. God help us all if they're incapable of listening to a rational proposal without screaming and banging tables.
Some of them agreed with you, surely.
How could they? I was never allowed to finish. I was shouted down and then told to sit, as if I was a child of 3. God, I'm so bloody angry. I'm going to resign. This time I'm going to resign. I really am.
I wouldn't do that.
See how they get on without me. See how far they get with Katrina Braithwaite. Good luck to them, I say. God, she's so stupid. I don't think we could possibly do that, Sally. It's against everything we stand for.
Good morning, Sally. Good morning, Jake.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
No, Lindy. Lindy, over there, dear, over there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do try and listen to me. Do try and listen, dear.
I was listening, dear. I was just...
It's a lot of time later, if you just listen, doesn't it?
Sally, is it going to rain? That's the question.
Haven't a clue.
Well, maybe you should resign then.
What?
I said maybe you should resign.
We can't just walk away from everything, Jake, every time we feel,
No, right. What about this evening then?
Maybe I should resign. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Are we going out somewhere? Do you fancy going out?
Not tonight.
Okay, well, if you change your mind, Sally.
Take someone else out, Jake.
I don't want to take anyone else out.
I say, Sally, sorry, could you possibly help, please? This gentleman's driven to the back gate by mistake. Could you possibly show him up to the house, do you think?
I'm so sorry, I got completely lost. There don't appear to be any signs.
Aren't there? There's usually masses of them.
I think Warren may have taken them down. He's cutting back the vegetation. I'll leave you then.
Thank you so much, you're very kind. Sally, right?
Yes. How did you...
Gavin Ringmain, with a Y. Gavin. Hello. And the last time we met, you were about 6 months old. I'm an old friend of your father's.
Oh, right. Well, let me... How do you do? Follow me.
Thank you. What a glorious place. I'd no idea.
Hello, I'm Jake. Incidentally, I was just going that way.
Hello, Jake. See you later, hopefully.
I never said that.
I think you did, dear.
I would never have said that.
Well, you said something like that.
I'm sorry. I would never have said anything remotely like that.
Well, I wouldn't have made it up, would I?
I don't know, do I? Frankly, Lindy, most of the time I don't know what goes on in that head of yours.
You definitely said.
I beg your pardon, I did not say that. I said possibly, that's all.
I don't remember it possibly.
How can I ever hear a heart my head denies with such insistence? How do I ever trust a heart which doubt drowns out with such persistence? How will I ever hear my heart whilst caution proffers such resistance? How could I ever give my heart when I deny its whole existence?
Oh, hello, Jake. There you are.
Dad.
I was glad I caught you. I wanted to see your mother this morning.
Briefly.
Right. How's things then?
You know.
That your folder?
No.
No, I didn't think it was. Haven't seen it before.
Sally's.
Aha. How is she?
Pretty well.
Are things between you moving along?
No, not really. Well, they're sort of moving, but not going anywhere, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's difficult, isn't it, sometimes, to know if someone is telling you it's okay or to go away, you know. Women especially, they seem to I don't know.
This is Sally we're talking about.
Yeah, she gives me different signals, you know. I think she likes me sometimes. She's really glad to see me, and it's really good between us. And then another time, it's like she puts the shutters up, you know, doesn't want to know, and I don't quite know what to do. I mean, half of me wants to say, well, to hell with it, I'm off, but the other half of me, you know.
Yes.
couldn't bear not to see her again.
I know the problem.
So it's not a very happy time for me at the moment. Pretty pathetic, just hanging around like a dog. I don't know. I don't know what to do for the best.
Yes. It's never easy, Jake. I have to say. Well, for some people it seems to be, but people like you and me, I think we're probably rather the
The same.
Yes. I mean, with your mother, for instance. I wanted to talk about her, actually, Jake. Talk about her.
Yes.
I have to tell you, Jake, I wish I could keep this from you, but you'll have to know sooner or later. Joanna's been having an affair.
Yeah.
You knew?
Yes, with Mr. Platt.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
I seem to be the only one who didn't know. You should have told me.
I didn't know how to.
I'm going to have to be very careful how I talk to her. We both are, Jake.
Sure.
She'll obviously be feeling terrible about it. Guilt, probably. And insecurity. And rejection.
Rejection?
Well, I understand it was Teddy who broke it off.
Yes, sure. But
all I'm saying is, Jake, your mother's a very special person and we'll have to nurse her back to emotional health. That's all. She needs us.
What about you? Don't you feel a bit rejected, a bit hurt?
Well, yes, naturally, but when something like this happens with someone like Joe, it's yourself you rather tend to question. What went wrong? What drove her to do it? Do you see?
Well, I'd have thought it was fairly obvious what drove her to do it.
I met her, when I was still a medical student.
Yes.
She was a grad student at the time, but she never went on with that, which was such a pity. She could have been really good. I saw her once in one of her end-of-term shows, but then she decided she wanted to teach instead. So, anyway, we met at this dance. She came with another student. She was quite the most beautiful person in the room, actually. And I started staring at her, the way you do. You're not supposed to, but you do. You don't expect anything to come of it. It's just I couldn't take my eyes off of her. She was just so incredibly beautiful. And she was dancing away with all these 9-foot-tall Adonises. And I was thinking, oh, well, home for Coco or whatever. And suddenly, she was standing there at my table, looking down at me. And you can imagine I jumped about a foot. And she said, are you going to ask me to dance, or are you just going to sit there staring all evening? And I said, sorry, I'm not an awfully good dancer, actually. And she said, well, that's too bad, because I'm going to have to spend the rest of my night teaching you, aren't I? And I said, fair enough, that's fine by me. And then for the rest of the evening, I danced with this beautiful. Oh. I'm sorry, Jake. I don't think I want to talk about this just at this moment.
No, fine.
Poor you. Last thing you need is a crying father, isn't it? Got problems of your own, haven't you?
Go right ahead.
No. Sorry for myself, that's all. Pathetic. Come on.
That's it. You tell him, Giles. That's telling him.
What? Oh, yes.
You listen to your father, eh?
Father knows best, eh? Right, on we go. By the way, if either of you are suddenly moved to lend a hand, we won't object.
So sorry. I would normally. It's just I'm expected up at the house in a minute. Otherwise, I would absolutely.
All right for some, hey? Sandwich in the back of the transit for us.
You're going up to the house for lunch?
Think about the workers.
Yes, Trish is expecting us.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'm doing an interview.
The last thing we should do is let her down.
All offers gratefully received.
I have to say, I prefer to be anywhere else, but sitting down at the same table is I could do without this wretched fate this afternoon too, actually.
Do you have to be? Can't you just...
No, not possibly. My whole troop's turning up. I couldn't let them down. They were relying on me.
Your troop?
Yes.
You're going to be Morris dancing as well?
Yes, of course. I know you think it's all very silly and quaint, Jake.
No, it just seems sort of inappropriate today, that's all. How can you possibly Morris dance at a time like this?
It's enormous fun. Great camaraderie. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I won't have my heart fully in it today, of course, but no, I couldn't possibly let them down. Anyway, take me out of myself for a bit, won't it? I must go and have a word with your mother, collect her for lunch. I hope she's remembered. See you in a minute.
Yeah.
We ought to talk more often.
Yes.
Anytime you need it, I'm here for you. You know that, Jake.
Thanks very much, Dad.
Right?
Right.
Putting it down then.
Putting it down then. Oh! Woo! Just trying to remember, the fortune's head went there, didn't it? That I do remember.
No. Over there. I've got it written all down. I have the plan.
Oh, I'm sure it went over there.
I have the plan. Don't let's argue and spoil the day, Lindy. Come along. Winnie awaits. Plenty more to unload.
Thought I'd left this up at the school. Major panic over.
I was going to bring it up to you.
Oh, thank God. Got my whole life in here. So you talking to your dad?
Yeah.
How was he?
Shaken up. He had such total trust in Mum, you see. It's come as a terrible shock. I don't think he can quite believe it. He keeps blaming himself.
Himself? Why?
God knows. Because he's my dad, who blames himself for everything. If it rains this afternoon, he'll blame himself for that. How's your mum?
Well, not blaming herself, certainly. Don't think she's ever blamed herself for anything. She usually finds someone else to blame. Me, for instance. My father, of course, is sailing on as usual, as if nothing was to do with him. Having long talks with the slightly sinister Gavin Ringmain with a Y.
Sinister?
Yes, I find him a bit creepy. He was being awfully charming to me all the way up to the house, which is always a bit suspicious with someone you only just met. What's he doing here, I wonder?
Come for lunch, hasn't he?
All the way from London? Not a chance. No, there's something brewing. He's not just a writer. He's quite politically involved too. You know, personal advisor, writes speeches and so on.
How do you know?
I have my sources.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you find him creepy?
Well, it's not the right word. Just a bit underhand. Tiny bit, I don't know, unscrupulous. Actually, rather attractive.
Oh, I see. Here we go.
No, not in that way. For God's sake, he's my father's age. They were at school together. What do you think I am? You just sit here and wait for your elderly film star.
He's not elderly.
Have you got your notebook?
Yes, and my recorder, which I hope she'll let me use.
Cheat!
No, I'll use both. Shorthand and a recorder. Most people do these days, make doubly sure.
What are you going to ask her?
I don't know how she likes this country.
Boring!
I've been told to ask that. Has she ever been to a garden fete before?
Predictable.
Did she enjoy working on a film in England?
Does she find English men attractive?
No, as it happens, I'm not asking her that. I'll talk about her working methods, whether they're different continental methods.
Ask her what she's doing here.
What do you mean?
But why is she here?
Well, she's publicising the film, presumably.
I beg your pardon. At a fete. At a garden fete. Big budget movie, is it?
Oh, I see what you mean. I hadn't thought of that.
Maybe she's having a secret affair.
Who with?
Gavin
Ringmain. With a Y.
Do you think he has a brother with an X? Gavin Rinks Manx. Interview me then.
What?
Come on, interview me. Practice for you.
Serious?
Yes, serious.
All right. Hang about. Ready?
Yes, just a minute. Yes.
Serious? You've got to take this seriously.
I will. Go on then.
Sally Platt, you come from a family with a long tradition of politicians. Grandfather, great-grandfather. Do you intend to follow in their footsteps?
Well, it's a bit early for me to decide just at the moment. I am considering it.
But you are excited by politics.
Yes, I am. I've always been very practical in that I've never enjoyed being just an onlooker. Ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to be in control. I consider politics to be the most practical way to take control of my life.
And presumably to some extent other people's.
Possibly, to some extent.
You think you're qualified to do that? To control the lives of others?
You're making it sound as if I'd be standing for dictator. I'd merely be pursuing their best interests, nothing to do with controlling them.
Nonetheless, you feel you're the person to do it.
Well, presumably if they'd elected me, they would too.
What if I didn't vote for you and I didn't feel your choices were in my best interests?
Too bad. That's democracy.
Okay. How about other interests? Do you have any hobbies?
Well, I make a lot of jam. And I do embroidery at weekends.
Come on.
Well, honestly, hobbies. I'm also waiting for the right man to come along before you ask.
Are you?
What?
Waiting for the right man?
Certainly not.
Truthfully?
Not at the moment. I'm too busy with A-levels anyway.
By that, I take it you're not in love with anyone at the moment.
No. None of your business, anyway.
But you do have feelings for people.
Of course I do. What is this?
Feelings you prefer to hide, keep hidden, because perhaps they frighten you. Maybe you're a bit afraid of them, strong emotions.
I'm stopping this now. This is getting stupid.
You?
Yes. In my diary every night. How did you guess?
I was thinking more about poetry.
What?
I said you write poetry.
Have you been in my folder? You've been in my bloody folder, haven't you?
Just this one poem. It fell out. I couldn't help but read it.
No, it didn't. It didn't just fall out. You rifled through my folder and you read it. How dare you, you bastard!
Look, all I did...
How dare you go through my private belongings? How dare you?
Listen, Sally, I didn't.
Well, that's it. That's it as far as I'm concerned. Don't ever speak to me again.
Sally!
Fuck you!
What have I done?
Jake, my darling, you mustn't blame yourself. It's all us. It's not your fault. It's all us.
Okay.
Okay.
Nearly the lot.
Nearly the lot.
1, 2. We've got Winnie loaded to the gunwales today.
Oh, yeah.
That's our man. The transit. We call her Winnie.
Two rear wheels on the verge back there.
Oh, dear.
Now, who was supposed to be seeing me back? Make sure that precise thing didn't happen. Whose job was that?
Sorry.
Don't apologise to me. It's Warren you should be apologising to.
Sorry.
Sorry, Warren. I'm afraid we have my wife to blame for that.
So sorry.
Don't worry, Warren. I'll move her straight away. Lindy, don't worry. Stay there. I'll move myself forward. It'll be safer.
Too late now. Buggered, isn't they?
Shall I start unpacking some of this? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Your lunch then. You're lucky to get it at all. It's chaos up there. Total hangman. All arriving at the wrong times to the wrong gates. Why did you move the signs today then, eh? God, you're a cantabulous old bastard, aren't you? Well, I don't know. The carrots are parboiled. The potatoes are shot. My puddings are poised and the peas are waiting. And the beef's been in and out that many times. It's like a candle in a spinster's bedroom. I'm not answerable. I told her I won't be answerable. She should have had pork. You can muck her out with pork. You can't do that with beef. Well, oh no. Is that them? Yes, there's a car. It must be them. Right, well, I better be off. You behave yourself, you hear? I'll be watching both of you.
Did their car?
I think there's one just arrived, Jake.
At last.
Oh, great excitement, isn't there?
Car just arriving.
Yes, we know. That'll be her, I expect.
It seems to be heading around the back there, like the other one.
Oh.
No signs, are there? I think I'd better serve as the welcoming committee again, hadn't I?
I'll come with you.
No, Lindy, you carry on with that. That's more important. I can do it.
Excuse me. Hi, do you know how we get to the house from here?
Ah, good morning. Are you Lucille Cadeau? Madame Cadeau?
No, I'm not. I'm the driver.
Sorry for the confusion. Barry Love, how do you do?
Hello.
Now then, you can either get in your car, make a U-turn, return down the back drive, and once you come to the fork, you take the right one and not the left one. Otherwise, you'll finish up at the home farm, over the cattle grid, and then when you come to the bottom, you're on the road again. Turn right. It's a bit of a blind corner, so be careful. Up to the crossroads, very much the way you came, and then right again. Don't go straight on, because that just takes you the back way to the village.
Past our house.
Yes, thank you, Lindy. I don't think that's particularly relevant. Right at the crossroads, and then you go very slowly up the hill until you see on your right, clearly signposted. Well, it isn't clearly signposted at present because it's been temporarily removed. Normally clearly signposted, a notice to the house, and you take that right and you'll find yourself at the front door. Is that clear enough?
Beautiful.
Want me to repeat it for you?
No, thank you.
Or else you can walk up that path there. Probably quicker.
Oh, que c'est beau ici!
She is.
Hello. This must be her.
Oh, c'est sublime, non? Oh, je n'aurais jamais imaginé que ce serait aussi beau.
How do you do? Lucille? I'm Barry. Welcome. May I call you Lucille?
Allô? Fran, c'est le propriétaire. C'est Monsieur Platt.
Hello.
Non, je ne sais pas qui c'est Lydia de Village, je crois.
How? finding you, our countryside.
Nous sommes arrivés par la porte arrière, paraît-il.
Il y avait aucun panneau.
Quelqu'un les arrêtes. Cet idiot peut-être. Cesare Sands, please repeat the alley appied. Senavui Enoi Padimarcha?
Oh non, après 4 heures enfermés dans cette voiture.
Have you much been out of London before?
We'll walk. It's okay.
Oh, yes. Permit me to show you.
It's all right, honestly. Thanks very much.
Well.
Vite, Lucille. On ne va jamais te débarrasser de lui. La maison est par ici.
Quel petit bonhomme extraordinaire. Ils sont tous comme ça par ici.
Très probablement. Je vous l'ai dit, nous avons abandonné la civilisation après Hammersmith.
Well, what a beautiful woman. Absolutely stunning, wasn't she? Took your breath away.
You might have introduced me.
Now that's what I call an attractive woman. Only the French, eh? Only the French. French women, they have that, that je ne sais quoi, that little extra, don't they?
Another leg, you mean?
Don't be silly, Lindy. Don't be silly now.
Where have they gone?
Sorry?
I got to the front gate, they drove right past. I've just chased them round to the back gate.
They're walking up to the house.
Oh, grief.
He's not going to catch them, is he? Never make a paparazzi.
Oh boy, I feel so sorry for him.
Jake, let's get started on this cutlery, shall we? Why should you feel sorry for Jake?
Well, all the business with his parents.
Oh, you mean the carryings on?
Shh. Yes. Can't be nice for him, can it?
Don't imagine it can be. I think we've got time to lay these out, you know, Lindy. Then we'll sit in Winnie and have an early sandwich and wait for the rest of the mob. Now, let's see.
Do you think that could ever happen to us?
What?
You know, one of us going off with someone.
Certainly not. What are you saying?
Don't you ever think about it?
No.
Not even now and then?
I've got better things to do with my time, Lindy, and so have you. Now stand still.
I think about it now and then.
What? Us having love affairs?
Well, you having love affairs mostly.
Me? That's not very likely, I must say.
Why not?
Because I've got you, haven't I? More than a handful.
Don't you ever get bored with me?
You're exciting enough for me, Lindy.
I get bored with me. Sometimes I get so bored with me, I don't know how you stand it sometimes. I wouldn't, if I were you. I'd go off, I would.
Listen up, Lindy. You see that yellow car over there, Lindy? The one that man was driving. That's a Porsche, Lindy.
I know. Beautiful.
Now, could you ever in a million years, even given all the lottery money we could spend, could you ever imagine me behind the wheel of that car?
No, not really.
Conversely, could you ever imagine yourself behind the wheel of that car?
I can't even drive.
Now, what's parked next to that vehicle? Next to the Porsche?
Our old transit.
Exactly. Good old faithful Winnie. Winnie the Transit. And how do we both feel about Winnie?
We're very fond of her.
What more can I say than that? Now, hold up that string just for a minute and I'll walk back a bit and line it up, all right? Just hold it there.
I missed them after all that.
Oh dear.
That's it, Lindy. Keep it upright. Keep it upright.
What are you doing?
Holding this.
Oh, yes. Have you seen that car out there? The Porsche. Beautiful. I wouldn't mind.
What about the one next to it?
What, the old bashed up transit, you mean?
That's ours.
Oh, no offence.
Fancy driving that, do you?
Well, frankly, not a lot, no.
No. I didn't think you would somehow.
Sorry? What did I say?
Lindy! Don't let go of it, Lindy! Lindy, what are you doing?
I don't think this is my day somehow.
Here it comes.
He continues to sit there as the lights fade to blackout. Garden by Ayckbourn. Act 2, Scene 1. Saturday, August 14th, 2 p.m. The same. It is overcast and to everyone but the most optimistic, clearly about to rain. Some things have been set up, including the maypole. Several of the stalls, including the hoopla, are also complete. Jake comes on anxiously as though looking for someone. There are sounds of activity all around and occasionally people come in and out of sight.
Mum! Mum!
No sign of her.
No.
She'll turn up. She's got her maypole dance, hasn't she? She won't miss that. We'll be opening the gates in just a minute.
Okay. Mum!
Jake? Jake?
Mum? Mum, where are you?
Over here, in the bushes.
Oh, there you are.
Don't look in my direction.
What?
You mustn't give away my position, whatever you do. He mustn't know I'm here. It is vital he doesn't know I'm here.
Who? Who mustn't know you're there? Who are we talking
Keep
about?
your voice down.
Sorry, Mum. I don't know what's going on. Who? Why? Why are you in the bushes?
I'm hiding from him.
Him?
Harold.
Harold?
Jake, listen, I've something terrible to tell you.
Who's Harold?
No, you have to know. You have a right to know. You're my son. You have a right to know these things.
Mum, I wish you'd come out the bushes. It's very hard trying to talk to you like this.
I'm trying. It's just... No, walk away. Walk away. Shh, shh. You haven't seen me. You haven't seen me, please.
My God, what's happening?
All right, Jake.
Yeah, sure. I just need to find my dad.
Lost his dad as well. This is unforgivable, you know. There should be 30 volunteer helpers here. And how many are there? 4. Including you and me. And old Mr. Eldridge, whose foot's so bad he can't lift anything anyway. We're way behind. Way behind.
I know, dear. You keep saying.
We've never been so behind. In 11 years of organising this. Even during the floods, we were never this far behind. Have you checked the tent, Lindy?
What?
Oh, do listen, Lindy, for heaven's sake. I said, have you checked the tent?
Yeah, I've already said I put it up personally and checked it.
That tent is your responsibility, you know.
Yes.
I deliberately delegated that to you. What are you doing?
I think there's someone in the bushes over there.
The bushes?
I saw the branches move.
Are you sure?
Yes! There! Can you see?
Good gracious!
Who is it?
I've no idea.
It could be a lurker.
I don't like the look of that. In another 5 minutes, this place will be swarming with old people and youngsters.
It will. Toddlers.
Just keep talking a minute.
What about?
What does it matter? Just keep talking. I'm going to try and take them by surprise. Keep talking, go on.
I can't think of anything to say.
Lindy, for goodness sake!
We've got a nasty ickle baby come to live with us. I think it really isn't fair the way they make a fuss about a thing that's got no sense and hardly any hair. And isn't half so pretty as my ickle teddy bear. What is the use of baby? Well, I cannot. Are you all right, dear?
He ran away!
Who it was?
Yes, it was Joanna Mace, Mrs. Mace.
Oh.
She looked quite wild. I would almost say dishevelled.
He's usually very smart.
Exactly. Something wrong. Something very, very wrong. What was I saying earlier, Lindy? Precisely that. You indulge in extramarital activities and look where you end up.
In the bushes?
My point precisely. We'll have to keep an eye on her. She looked a trifle unbalanced. Certainly casts a shadow over the maypole dance, doesn't it?
Oh, we can't cancel that.
I hope it won't come to that.
Oh, they'd be so disappointed. They've got all their little costumes specifically made and everything. Oh, we couldn't cancel it. It would break their hearts after all their rehearsing. Oh.
I can assure you that will be the last resort. Since the dog handle is cancelled, I was relying on it as the high spot of the afternoon. I think we are nearly there. Come on, Lindy. Follow me.
Oh! Giles! We've just seen Joanna.
That'll do. That'll do.
What?
Not in front of the world, if you don't mind. Discretion, please.
Oh.
What's going on?
Off you go, Lindy. I'm sure you've got plenty to be getting on with.
Yes, I must be getting on. Excuse me, Giles. I'm so sorry.
What's going on?
I just wanted a quiet word, if I could.
Really?
Man to man, in your ear.
Look, if it's about John Whittle, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have tried his mobile, but I'm not getting any reply. He's certainly left home anyway. I ascertained that.
Pardon?
John Whittle, our Morris dance coordinator. I don't know where on earth they can all be. I hope nothing's happened to them.
I'm sure they'll turn up. I'm sure they will. Listen, Giles, this is a bit embarrassing, a bit awkward, but frankly, the wife.
Lindy, is something wrong? She does look a little...
No, not Lindy. I'm not talking about Lindy. Joanna.
Ah.
Nothing the matter with Lindy. Lindy's perfectly fine. It's all in her head. No, Joanna, look. Giles, I have no wish to pry into your private affairs. As we all know, women are creatures of whim.
Perfectly all right, Barry. None of my affairs are any longer private. Feel free to discuss them along with the rest of the village.
I'm sorry, it must be
yes,
very...
It is, actually. If you want to know, it is very. Now, what is it you want to tell me?
The bottom line. She's in the bushes. She's been sighted, lurking in the bushes.
What's she doing in the bushes?
I rather hoped you could tell me.
I've no idea. She rushed away in the middle of lunch, threw down her cutlery and fled.
Don't get me wrong. It's a free country. I'm as broad-minded as the next man. I'm just a little worried she might alarm people once we let the general public in. I was thinking particularly of old folk, you know. They can get a trifle apprehensive if they feel they're being observed from the shrubbery.
Well, all right. I'll see if I can locate her. Where's Jake, I wonder? I rather need Jake.
He was here a minute ago. He may have gone up to the house looking for you. I'll tell you what I'll do. When I come back, I'll get Lindy to muster the little maypole dancers. If we can group them around the pole, that might just serve to lure Joanna out of hiding.
Yes, I suppose that's possible.
I'm just popping up to the house to inform the official party we are ready to start. Everyone to your posts, please. We'll be opening the gates in just a few moments.
Been made a mockery today. I've been held up and humidified. I've never cooked a meal like it. Never. There were that French woman there, expecting a Gordon Bleu. And what'd she get? Had to throw the rest of that beef away. Spoof wouldn't touch it neither. I've left her washing up, the little madam. Kitchen will be full of debris when I get back. She needs electrocuting and hanging up by her hair, that girl. Pouring wine with half her chest showing. That doctor, he was practically down inside her vest. I don't care what you say. She needs a dad. She needs a man's firm hand worn. And I don't want to hear no more excuses about it neither. She were always too young for you. Even when you were younger, she was still too young for you. But that were all right then. What you two did in your own home were your own business. But now it's changed because I've moved in. And I'm her mother. And now you're sleeping with me. That makes you her father, whether you like it or not. But it ain't right to sleep with your own daughter. Because now you're committing incense. And that's a 7 deadly sin. And I know that because I read it in the Bible, right? You can walk away. Don't make no difference.
Bloody win.
What have you done to him?
Now you listen here, young lady. You behave like a daughter, you hear, or you'll feel my wrath.
How can I behave like a daughter when he don't even want to be a father? What's he want a daughter for? He doesn't want me as a daughter. He only wanted me for lust. That's all he wanted me for. This would never have happened if you hadn't pitched him off me in the first place.
Oh, I give up. I really do. Joe! Joanna!
Still looking for her then?
Yes, just.
What makes you think she'll be in the bushes then?
Just a wild hunch.
No reason for her to be in the bushes though, is there?
Probably not.
No, not today anyway. Sorry. No call for that, sorry. Shame you had to rush away from your dinner though.
Yes. As I explained, my wife suddenly remembered she had a very important phone call from overseas that she simply had to take. And then, stupidly, I remembered that I'd not given her the number in case they wanted her to call them back.
Missed your treacle tart, didn't you? You like my new fortune-telling dress?
Very nice.
Coming into my tent this year, have your fortune told?
Well, I don't think so. I already have a fairly clear idea of my fortune. I don't think I want to know too much more about it.
Fortunes can change.
Sometimes.
Be surprised.
I think at your age that's possible, Pearl, but at my age...
Go on with you. I'm acquainted with much older men than you, I can tell you. Prefer a bit of vintage, me?
Yes, I did realise. Well, I'm certainly vintage, practically oxidized, I'm afraid.
I'm into most things. Try anything once.
Oh, Jake.
Hello.
Oh. Best get my camera. Nearly forgot. Always nice to get a photo, isn't it? See you later.
Just been up to the house.
Oh, yes.
Thought you might be there.
No, I'm down here.
Yes.
Listen, there's no easy way to do this. I'm going to have to plunge straight in. Apparently, Joanna, your mother is
in the bushes.
Yes, you knew.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I spoke to her.
You did?
Yes.
How was she?
A bit strange. The point is, I think I've got some really bad news for you.
Go on.
Well, you know, all along we were thinking, well, most of us were thinking that she was just having an affair with Mr. Platt. I've got a feeling there was someone else as well.
Someone else? Who? Tell me.
It's, Harold.
Harold?
That's what she said.
Who is Harold?
That's what I asked her.
And she said?
Well, she said she'd tell me later. She wanted to talk to me on my own. She seems to think people are after her. That's why she's hiding.
Yes. Well, I suppose you'd better try to do that. I'll leave you to it. It's obvious she doesn't want me, isn't it? Harold.
Dad. I don't think Mum knows at the moment what she wants. I wouldn't take it too personally.
It's bloody hard not to, Jake. It really is. Harold. Okay, I'll keep out of the way. I'll be over there by the Bat the Rat. Call me if you think I can be of any help.
Right. Assuming I can find her.
I think she's nearby. I have a feeling she's watching us, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll tell Lindy to round up the maypole dancers. Barry has this theory that if we group them round their pole, it might lure Joanna out.
A sort of Judas goat, you mean?
That sort of thing, yes. Harold. God, what sort of husband am I? Married to a serial adulteress and I didn't even realise. God!
Mum, are you in there? Mum, Mum,
Jake,
Mum. Yes, it's me.
has he gone?
Dad. Yeah, he's gone.
No, Harold. Has Harold gone, Jake?
Mum, I don't really know any Harold, nor does Dad. Do you think you'd like to come out of the bushes now? It's perfectly safe.
No, I can't come out, Jake. If Harold catches sight of me talking to you, it'll put you in terrible danger as well.
Well?
You don't know him, Jake. Nobody spotted him. He's been so clever. He's had us all fooled. He's just been so diabolically clever.
Who has?
Jake, listen, No, listen.
Mum.
I don't have much time. He could catch up with me at any minute. That man is not your father.
Who's not my father?
The man you were talking to just now, he is not your father.
You mean Dad?
Yes!
Dad's not my father.
No, why are you being so stupid all of a sudden, Jake? You're not normally...
I don't know.
You're not normally stupid, Jake. That man is not your father. He has never been your father. Can you get that through your head?
I see. Let's get this straight. Somebody else is my father then?
Yes.
But not that man?
No.
Then who's my father, Mum?
Giles. Giles is your real father.
But that was Giles, Mum.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Then who was that?
That was Harold. They replaced Giles with Harold. They replaced your father with Harold.
Who's replaced my father with Harold?
I don't know, do I? The terrifying thing is they're doing these things all the time. You know, Harold's been in our house for years. All the time you were growing up, and I never realised. I just didn't even realise.
Mum, what makes you think that man isn't Giles?
Because if you'd known the real Giles, you'd have seen through that man, Jake. Like I should have done years ago. God, no, I've been so stupid. Giles, the real Giles, was the gentlest man in the world. He gave me so much love. He used to hold me in the night when I needed him. You know, he loved me so much. I would have never needed to go to anybody else for love, Jake. I just would have never done something like that. You have to understand that. Giles was all I ever needed. He was the most tender, most dear man in the whole world. I just loved him so much. I could have never hurt the real Giles like that.
And this man, Harold, he doesn't do any of that.
Harold doesn't love me. He's not even human. He's like a machine, a cold, heartless machine. He doesn't love me, and he doesn't love you.
Why'd you call him Harold?
Because I finally caught him out, Jake. We were walking up to the house and I just called out, Harold! And he turned and he looked straight at me and I thought, gotcha! He wouldn't have done that if his name wasn't Harold, would he?
Listen. Why don't you come with me and we'll find Harold and perhaps, we can discuss this. Just the three of us.
With Harold? You want to talk with Harold? Oh, God. He's got at you too, hasn't he? He's got at you too. Maybe you're not even Jake. Oh, my God.
Mum.
No, get away. Get away. You're not my son. My son would have understood. Jake would have understood.
Well?
It's rather complicated, Dad. I don't quite know where to start.
Gordon!
What?
Gotcha!
Jake, what on earth is...
C'est absolument magnifique! J'adore vos merveilleux jardins. Ils sont si sauvages, si authentiques.
Oh, yes, all of that, yes. As far as the eye can see. Oh, right. Here we are, everyone.
Oh. Right. Maypole dancers into your starting positions, please. We've opened the gates.
Were there many waiting?
About 8.
Well, they'll come later. They often come along later.
Teddy, c'est quoi ça? Ça?
That's hoopla. You know? Les hoopla.
Ah ouais, les anneaux. Ah, je vois.
Excuse me, I'm from the press.
Pardon?
He's from the press, a journalist.
Oh, c'est un journaliste.
Excusez-moi, mon français n'a pas très bon, mais j'aimerais vous poser quelques questions.
Yes, we speak.
Merci. D'abord, est-ce que c'est votre première visite dans cette région?
Oui, c'est ma première visite.
Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez?
Oh, je trouve que c'est magnifique.
Et qu'est-ce que vous amenez ici? Vous faites de la publicité pour le film? Vous êtes en vacances?
Non, je me rends dans une clinique.
La clinique. Vous allez en clinique?
Oui, pour ma santé.
I see. You mean a health farm. Ici, on appelle ça un centre de remise en forme.
Non, pas un centre de remise en forme. Je connais ça. Je parle d'une clinique pour une thérapie.
Thérapie? Quelle sorte de thérapie?
Oh, accoutumance, vous voyez.
Addiction? Vous voulez de la drogue?
La drogue aussi, mais seulement un peu. Surtout par l'alcool.
Alcohol? Je vois.
Right, that's it. End of interview. Thank you, Lucille. The Dick Pass and not the plus. Set on a journalist. Non-dungeon. Jake. Forget everything she said, all right? That was off the record.
I don't think it was. It was very much on the record.
You print one word of that, Sunshine, and we'll sue you, all right?
Oh, yeah? Who's we?
Her agents. IMI. International Murder Incorporated.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everyone who has braved our junior band, ladies and gentlemen, who have gallantly stepped in for our senior band, who have an unexpected prior engagement. As I was saying, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for braving today's elements. Without further ado, I introduce our junior band.
An enormous clap of thunder and a torrential downpour. Everyone rushes for cover, pulling sheets of polythene over the uncovered stalls as they go. Barry, Lindy, Fran, Izzy, and the children all head for the house. Teddy and Lucille dive into the tent. The garden is empty for a second or two. Then Lucille's head sticks out of the tent.
Il est huge! Je n'ai jamais vu un pluie pareil. Il pleut tout le temps comme ça en Angleterre.
It's only a shower, I think. Probably all pass over in a year or two.
Les pauvres! Et leur fête champêtre! Tout ce travail! C'est comme ça tous les ans!
What the hell is that?
Un orchestre! Oh, avec de petits
You'll be careful, Lucille. You'll get very wet. You will get wet.
Ce n'est pas grave! Oh, mais ce sont des enfants! C'est adorable!
It's a bloody awful din. Where's the proper band, for God's sake? Lucille, what are you doing now?
Les anneaux! Je veux jouer ton anneau!
For God's sake, you mad French person. You want to play hoopla, do you?
Oui! Hoopla!
Oh, all right, we'll play hoopla. God almighty. Oh, I'm getting drenched. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Now it says here 3 for 50p. Do you have 50p?
50p?
Yeah.
Non, je n'ai pas 50p. Je n'ai pas de l'argent sur moi.
Don't have it. Well, you'll have to owe me then. You owe me, all right? Okay. There we go. Now you've got them. You know what to do?
Voilà.
Yes, I think the idea is to get it somewhere within the vicinity of the table.
Voilà.
Yes, jolly good. That one killed the vicar. Okay, one more.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
J'adore cet orchestre. J'ai envie de danser.
Don't, for God's sake, bowl for the pig. We'll have dead pork everywhere. Hey, hang about. What's here? It's bottles of scotch. Les Scotch. You see?
Oh, whiskey.
Yes. Okay, now, my dear, watch this. Okay, all right, okay. Watch this. Yeah. Oh, damn.
Est-ce que nous recommencer?
Okay, all right, okay. Ow! Oh, nuts!
Allez, encore une fois, Teddy.
This time.
Bravo, bien joué.
My God, we make an excellent team, don't we?
Agincourt.
Oui, Agincourt, yes, indeed.
Teddy.
And now what are you doing?
Je veux nager dans le bassin.
What?
Pourquoi ça ne marche pas? La fontaine.
Oh, the fountain. Oh, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked for several years. We think it's clogged. Probably leaves, weeds, dead animals in it. Clogged.
Clogged. Clogged. Oh, c'est bon.
Aren't you wet enough, woman? Oh, you're barking.
Barking. Allez, Teddy, venez les trompettes avec moi.
Oh, no, I'm not getting in the fountain.
Teddy. Teddy.
Oh, God, no. You don't know what you're walking on, Lucille. All sorts of nasty things. I'm not getting in that, no.
Oh, Teddy.
You know, Lucille, just this short time I've known you, it's extraordinary. I forgot what it's like to have a good laugh, you know? Where's all the fun gone, eh? You see, I understood that the whole thing between men and women was somehow meant to be sort of joyous, you know? Then you look round at all these miserable bastards and you think, if you're that miserable, why don't you just say piss off to each other and then get on with having a spot of fun? Do you know what I mean?
Ouais.
Take sex. It's a bloody brilliant invention, isn't it? This bit goes in there, it's all made to fit. But you read the bloody books and you'd think it was the university entrance exam. Oh, depressing. So depressing, it really is. And you feel yourself getting more and more crushed by it all, guilty, you know? And someone like you then passes through my life. And I don't understand a bloody word that you're saying, but just for this moment, I realize how wonderful it could have been and could be again. You see?
Moi? Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait de ma vie? Je rêvais d'être une grande actrice, à la comédie française peut-être. Et je me retrouvais à jouer en pépé d'Hollywood dans un petit film minable bourré de terroristes. Ma plus grande scène, c'est celle où je reçois un bombe en plein figure. Mais ce n'est même pas moi qui reçois le bombe. C'est un doublure. Oh mon Dieu, quel gâchis de ma vie.
2, Marie.
Ah.
Ouais. La première m'a poussée à boire, la seconde à me droguer. Oh, dans quelques années, personne ne voudra plus de moi. Je ne voudrais plus que dalle, ni au cinéma, ni même pour recevoir une bombe en pleine figure. Si je vous avais rencontré plus tôt, peut-être les choses auraient été différentes. Et je dois aller dans cette clinique. Et vous allez rejoindre votre anglais Colette Monté qui ne vous regarde même pas et refuse d'admettre votre existence. Oh mon Dieu, quelle tristesse. Vous êtes gentil, Teddy. Idiote, mais brave.
You know, I don't think I've ever talked to anyone like this before. Thank you for listening to me, Lucille. And for saying that. I found it very moving.
Vous comprenez, n'est-ce pas? Je sais que vous comprenez.
What?
Venez, Teddy.
Hmm?
Ma tante.
Well, where are we going now? What?
Je suis Cléopâtre. Je vous amène dans ma tante, Teddy.
Cleopatra? What does she have to do with anything?
Non, vous êtes mon Marc-Antoine. Nous allons faire magnifiquement la mort une dernière fois avant de mourir. Je suis votre fils. Vous êtes mon Pyram. Vous êtes mon Tristan. Je suis votre Isolde.
I don't know who any of these people are. Oh, never mind.
Teddy.
Lucille.
Teddy.
They go into the tent. The band plays on. An initial cry from Lucille, then from Teddy. Suddenly, for the first time, the fountain makes a rusty gurgling sound and spurts into life. Izzy enters from the house. She stands and stares at the tent, listening to the sounds from within. After a moment, she dives for a box under the homemade cake table and finds a big, vicious-looking carving knife. She marches up to the tent. For a minute, we fear carnage. Then, she contents herself by sawing at the principal guy ropes. The tent collapses on the occupants, a cry of surprise from within. Pearl comes on with her camera. She stops as she sees Izzy.
Oh no, I done the wrong ones. Pearl,
Get away! Get away! You get away!
No, Pearl, come back. I didn't mean to. It was a miscalculation.
My God! I think the earth moved for me.
Oh mon Dieu! Quelle amante! Qui dit que les Anglais sont frigides?
Can you get out?
Non, je crois que je suis coincée. Il faudrait qu'on nous aide.
No, I don't think I can. No. Oh, we'll have to get some help. Help!
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 What? Women.
Help! Help!
Hello? Are you all right? Who's under there?
Oh, who's that?
I'm a doctor. Can I help?
Giles?
Who's that?
It's me, Teddy.
Teddy? Who's that with you?
Allô? Pouvez-vous nous aider? On est coincés là-dessous. Il faudrait qu'on nous délivre.
Lucille?
Allô?
My God, I don't believe this. You're obscene, Teddy. You're utterly debauched. It's just one woman after another with you as far as you're concerned.
Look, spare us the bloody moral lecture, Giles. Just get us out of here.
Oh, what's happened?
Tent appears to have collapsed on them.
Who's under there? Lucille?
Yes, and Mr.
Lucille? Ça va?
Oui, ça va. On est juste un peu serré.
Attendez un second. Je vais vous sortir de là.
Merci.
Giles, can you give me a hand here?
Careful, they may have broken limbs.
Oh, ça va mieux. Vive la liberté. Oui, Teddy.
Comment vous sentez-vous? Vous allez bien?
Ah, Oui, je ne me suis bien senti. Je n'ai fait pas la mort comme ça depuis une éternité.
On ferai moder entra à la maison. Vous êtes trempé.
Je dois faire l'ouverture de la fête d'abord.
Qui l'on fait faire, va avec la fête. Je ne veux pas être responsible devant le bureau si vous attrapez une pneumonia.
I say, are you going to help me out of here or what?
It's all right, Teddy. I've got you. Fran, would you mind? All right, Teddy. Now gently. Heave! Heave!
Hold it a second.
That hurting?
I think we may have a bit of a problem.
All right, Fran, ease off. Ease off. Where's the problem located, Teddy? Can you describe it?
Well, it's just generally my lower half.
I see. My God, it could be spinal. Teddy, lie there perfectly still till there's more of us here to lift you.
Fran, il y a un problème?
The medicine pense qu'il a peut-être une blessure à la colonne vertébrale.
Oh mon Dieu, ce n'est pas possible. Oh, Teddy, vous êtes blessé?
Hello, thing.
Teddy, just lie still, please. It may be serious.
Right you are.
What's happened? What on earth has happened?
Le pauvre Teddy, il était blessé. Tout à l'heure, il était si heureux. Et voilà comme maintenant.
Please don't shake him around. He may be injured. Ne le secoue pas.
Injured? How badly injured?
We don't know. He was sheltering in the tent. It fell on him.
The doctor thinks he may have spinal injuries.
Oh my goodness.
C'est de ma faute. C'est moi qui l'ai emmené dans la tente.
Someone summoned an ambulance? We need paramedics.
No, I don't need an ambulance. Do not call an ambulance, whatever you do, for God's sake.
He sounds delirious.
Do your bloody maypole dance or something.
Hardly the time for a maypole dance, surely.
Might be a good idea. Take his mind off the pain. If he has major spinal injuries...
I never said that.
Right. Come along, children. Time for the dance now.
Oh, well, I'll see if I can find the cassette player. I put it somewhere.
What's happened?
Ah, there you are. I'll tell you what's happened, Lindy. The tent which you put up and swore you had checked has just fallen on Mr. Platt.
Oh, no.
As a result of which he has multiple injuries to his lower body and may never walk again.
I never said that.
All of which is entirely down to you, Lindy. We could be in for £1 million lawsuit. Do you realise that?
Yes. All right.
All because you rush things, you don't concentrate, you're careless, and you never ever bother to check. Well, now it's home to the roost, Lindy, as I said it would be. I'm going to get my mobile and phone for an ambulance.
Oh.
I wouldn't worry too much. He'll be fine, I'm sure. Grass is quite wet. Be careful.
Je veux que vous sachiez, si vous n'en réchappez pas, que vous êtes le meilleur amant que j'ai jamais eu. Je me souviendrai toujours à vous, Teddy.
What are you talking about now, you batty woman?
Je ne vous oublierai jamais. Embrassez-moi encore une fois. Non. Oh, mon pauvre chéri. S'il vous arrivait quelque chose, je ne me le pardonnerai jamais. Je serai votre Brunhilde. Je me jetterai dans les flammes s'il vous arrivait quelque chose.
I cannot think of a more inappropriate way to die. I really can't.
What the hell?
Sebastian?
What?
Gotcha!
Oh, God!
Bastard!
Oh.
No! Bastard! Bastard!
What the hell are you doing?
Bastard!
Oh, for goodness sake!
Bastard!
Bastard! Come on, Teddy! Petite salope!
Oh, you little bitch!
Come on, calm down.
Ne me touchez pas! Elle est espèce de folle au secteur!
Away from here! Get them to safety!
Now, break it up, you two. That is quite enough of that. I'm not worth fighting over.
It's all right. She's calmer now. I'll get her home. Don't worry. Leave her to me. I'll get her a sedative.
Are you sure?
Seal, ça va?
Ouais, ça va. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ça fait partie de la fête.
Come on, darling. Home now. It's only me. It's Giles. Come on.
Giles? No. You're not Giles. You're Harold. I know you are Harold.
Maybe just temporarily, darling. Giles will be back in a minute, I promise.
Well, I'm delighted to see that there was no damage done, Teddy.
Yes, no. Extraordinary accident. You'll hardly believe it. We quite remarkable. We were in the tent, sheltering from the rain, you know, and the thing suddenly just collapsed onto us, and as it did so, the central pole, you follow, the central pole caught in the waistband of my trousers and ripped them right off, just like that. Extraordinary. Do excuse me, I'll go back up to the house and root out another pair. Excuse me, Lucille, you coming up to the house to dry off? Dry off.
Dry off. Oui.
Come on then, my little bonbon.
They're all safely in the minivan.
There is an additional feature to this which I didn't like to mention.
What's that?
Someone's deliberately cut these guy ropes. Look at that.
Foul play, do you think?
Worth considering, eh?
Well, there's a turn up for the book, eh? Yes. Well, puts us in the clear anyway, doesn't it? That's a relief. Oh, Mr. Ringmain, I didn't see you there. You staying for a bit of fun?
Sadly, I have to be underway pretty soon.
Busy man. If you have a minute to spare before you go, I wonder if you'd mind very much judging the fancy dress.
Ah, well...
It won't take a moment of your time. I was going to ask Lucille, but she's rather indisposed at present. It would be a great thrill for them, if you would. I'll just assemble them. Back in a minute.
Oh, God.
Excuse me.
Hello there.
That is your car, isn't it? The yellow one.
Yes. Sorry, is it blocking someone?
I couldn't help overhearing you saying you'll be leaving soon.
Yes, I'm afraid I've got to get
Would that be back to London, would it?
That's right.
Oh, would you... I know this sounds very cheeky of me, but would you be able to give me a lift?
Where to?
To London.
Oh, I see. Well...
I wouldn't ask normally, but it's a matter of great urgency.
I see. It's important you go tonight, is it?
Very important. If I don't go tonight, I may not go at all, you see.
I see. Well, I hope you don't have a lot of luggage.
Oh, I've got no luggage at all. Not so you'd mention.
Right. Well, I'll be setting off in about an hour, so...
I'll be waiting. I'll be by the car.
Right. God.
Right, that's it, children. Parade out to Mr. Ringmain. Ah. Well, it seems Mr. Ringmain is also indisposed. So I will be judging the fancy dress competition. Note to self, don't choose the letterbox. He won last year.
As they go, the lights fade to blackout. Act 2, Scene 2. Saturday, August 14th, 5 p.m. The same, though it has been tidied up a bit. The collapsed tent is gone, the band have stopped playing. Giles and Jake are packing away the maypole, which is now lying on its side. Giles is still in his Morris outfit. Jake's folder is nearby.
I didn't think they were going to score at all. The last 10 minutes, though. Oh. Did you see that final cross? The one that eventually went in? I mean, he was practically behind the net. I thought, he's overshot. He'll never bring it back from there. Never. I don't know. Then he managed to just cross it, didn't he? Just beautiful cross. I mean, the keeper was way out of position, wasn't he? No way. Wish I'd been there. We needed it.
Hi, Dad. I suppose we ought to talk about Mum, really.
Yes. Yes, I suppose we should.
I mean, what's going to happen, Dad?
Well, I think we just have to see her back to health. I think it might take some time, but we can do it. We can do it. She needs patience. She needs understanding. She needs love. That's all. And I suppose if that means answering to the name of Harold for a month or two, then that's what it'll have to be. Wish to God she'd chosen some other name.
I'm not too keen on Gordon, actually.
I keep saying we, Jake, but I want you to understand this is not primarily your problem.
She's my mum, for God's sake.
Yes, but what's happened to Jo? It's none of your doing.
It's nobody's doing.
It's down to me, Jake. It's all down to me.
Look, Mum has an illness, that's all. Nobody's to blame. I mean, she needs professional help, surely.
And she'll get professional help, don't worry. I'm making inquiries first thing tomorrow. Well, on Monday. She'll get the best, Jake, don't worry.
I don't want you worrying yourself to death. I mean, by taking unnecessary blame. You're a good person. Bloody hell, I'm sure you drove her nuts on occasion, but you're a good person, Dad.
Thank you. No, what I'm really trying to say, Jake, is that you mustn't get yourself too embroiled in all this. It is my problem. Really, it is. And I promise I won't let it all get on top of me more than's absolutely vital. But you've got a life of your own to lead. You've got university in a few weeks. You've got to think about a career. I don't know. You've got Sally, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, don't give up on that. I think she likes you, you know.
Yeah. So people keep telling me. The only person who doesn't tell me is her.
Well, ever thus, eh?
I'm going to give it one more go in a minute.
Ah, worked out a strategy?
You bet. I'm going to get down as far as her goal line and then send her a deep swirling cross right in front of her net. Catch her out of position.
That should do it.
Won't stand a chance. Right. Well, see you later then.
Nobody's seen my wife, have they? Anyone here seen Lindy?
Not for some little while.
No.
Unbelievable. I've had to load that whole van on my own. Lindy's completely vanished. If you do happen to see her, would you tell her that I have now driven home where I will be unloading the van single-handed? I will then be back here in 45 minutes to pick up the second load. And I would be eternally grateful on that occasion for a modicum of her help. And she might be interested to know that I think my back is playing up again as well. If you could tell her all of that, thank you.
Now I wonder if I should nip down to the village and get Joanna some herbal bath crystals. I might persuade her to have a bath when she wakes up, help to ease some of her tension.
Why don't you just go and get pissed, Dad? Go on. Treat yourself.
And what's that ever solved, Jake? What's that ever solved, eh?
Not going to get a dance then, aren't we?
Alas, no. I'm afraid the rest of my troop are in Peterborough. Would you believe? They finally phoned me at 4:15. A cross booking. Nobody let me know.
Shame.
Yes, it was.
Like a dance, do you?
It's rewarding, yes. Some people think it's rather quaint, comical even. But they're very powerful, these dances. Some of them go back a long way. 14th century, Edward III.
Way?
Before that, probably from Spain.
Oh, ole! Do us a bit then, go on.
I can't. There's only me.
Oh, come on, no one's watching. I'd like to see a bit, honest.
Well, it'll look a bit silly, but Just a little section. You have to imagine there's actually 16 of us doing this, not just me.
Hey, that was great.
Well, I'm rather glad my colleagues weren't here. I might have been drummed out of the United Kingdom Morris Federation.
Oh, don't allow women then.
Oh, yes, indeed. There's lots of female Morris dancers. We're totally liberated these days.
Like the MCC.
Oh, hello.
Well done, jolly good.
Well, I must get on. Thanks for the dance. Going for a drink. Would you like to join us?
Us?
Me and my mum. And my dad.
Your dad? I didn't know you'd...
Warren. He's my dad.
See? Good heavens. I think a lot of people thought he was... Well...
Nah. That wouldn't be right, would it? Not with me own dad.
No, certainly not.
Want to come?
Well... Probably not. My wife's a bit under the... Normally, I'd love to come. It's...
We'll be in the wheat sheaf. Bait is pissed down the plough.
Right. Thank you very much. I'll see what I can arrange.
Cheers then.
Bye.
Goodbye. Sounds a tempting invitation. I think you're in with a chance.
Oh, good heavens. Hardly. You're off, are you?
Afraid so. It's been a marvellous afternoon. Thoroughly enjoyed myself.
The weather was a little disappointing, I'm afraid. I don't think we did financially as well as we'd hoped. Well, have a safe journey. Shouldn't take you long in that thing of yours.
About 25 minutes, I should think. Ciao.
Bye.
Hello.
Ah,
Here I am, all ready.
yes. Right. Is that all your luggage? Because I have limited boot space.
No, this is all I'm taking.
Just a short visit, is it?
No,
Ah,
but I'm taking as little as possible.
I see.
Then I can't be accused of taking anything, you see.
I should warn you, when I travel, I like to put my foot down.
Oh, I won't be any trouble. I promise.
No. I like to travel at speed. You're comfortable with high speeds, are you?
The faster, the better.
And there'll be a bit of a din. You don't mind loud noise?
Oh no, I'm used to that. Our old transit makes a dreadful racket. I think it's the gearbox.
No, what I meant was I'll be playing rather loud music, okay?
Classical.
No. Late 60s, 70s rock. Is that okay?
Oh yes, the monkeys.
Along those lines, yes. Well, off we go. After you, and fasten your seatbelt. God.
It's all right. She's coming.
I'm coming.
I was just showing her our gazebo.
Gazebo.
Did you know she had never seen a gazebo before? She had no idea what it was. Can you imagine? She's lived a completely sheltered life.
I said we'd be there by 6. We're going to be very late. Lucille, on va être en retard.
Oh, ne dites pas des sottises. Comment peut-être en retard pour faire un régime sec? Teddy, au revoir. On se reverra bientôt.
Absolutely. And I will write to you.
Vous êtes sans aucun doute l'homme le plus bête que j'ai jamais rencontré.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Vraiment l'anglais le plus bête. Mais je vous aime. Vous êtes normalement une nation si solennelle, si pompeuse, tellement sérieuse surtout.
Well, yes, well, it could have been nicer, but that's the English climate for you, I'm
Mais
afraid.
vous avez prouvé qu'ils avaient tort. Je me souviendrai de vous pendant longtemps. Je reviendrai, Teddy, aussitôt que je serai guéri, et on fera la mort ensemble dans tous vos drôles et petites cabanes du jardin. Ouais.
You betcha.
Mm.
Fran, what is she saying?
I don't think you should know. Not at the moment. We'd never get away from here. Lucille, allez venez, s'il vous plaît.
Ne venez pas plus loin avec moi, Teddy. Restez là. Ouais, c'est ça. Laissez-moi vous empresser. Oh, et puis, partir. Nous serons comme Philémon et Bossy, Teddy. Nous nous aimerons dans ce jardin. Et depuis, quand nous serons morts, nous serons transformés par les dieux. Vous deviendrez un chien et moi deviendrai un pilule et nos branches s'entélasseront pour toujours. Alors, mon amour, au revoir.
Goodbye. I have no idea what you're saying, but God, you are beautiful when you say it.
Au revoir.
Cheers.
Right then. Right.
Any sign of her yet?
Who?
Day of the Vanishing Wives, isn't it? Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. We're going to have serious words about this.
Oh, don't mind if I cut across, do you?
Oh, no, help yourself, Giles.
I'm off to the pub. Wheat sheaf beers piss down the plough. I'd invite you along, Teddy, but I'm sorry. I think it'll be another day or two before I can actually sit and drink with you.
Oh, no, don't worry. I don't particularly want to sit and drink with you either, just at present.
Fair enough. Oh, Trish just passed me in her car. She told me if I saw you to say cheerio, that you'd know what she meant.
Oh, yes. I know what she meant.
Well, cheerio then.
Cheery bye. Oh, there you are, boy. Somebody let you out, did they? Good boy. Come on. Here we are. Come on. Come to Daddy. Come on. That's it. Oh, come on, boy. Good boy. Come, boy. Come, boy. Come, boy. Oh.
Boof's barking recedes as he runs off into the distance. Teddy droops a little lower. Quite suddenly, there is a gurgling sound and the fountain behind him splutters and shuts off.
Oh, well. That's life, I suppose.
As he continues to sit there, contemplating his lot, the lights fade to blackout. Charlie and I would like to thank you so much for coming to watch our production of Garden by Alan Ayckbourn. We hope that you're excited for House on Friday or that you enjoyed it on Wednesday night. If you're able to do so, we'd ask that you donate to our two amazing chosen charities, Industry Minds and Black Lives Matter UK, on our fundraising page, the links to which are all over the Grad Fringe Fest social media pages. Now, without further ado, we would like to say a massive thank you to the cast for their hard work and passion over the last couple of weeks. We couldn't have done it without them. We'd also like to say a massive thank you to our technical support, Jack Cray and Cynthia Chung. Without them, none of this would have been possible, so thank you very, very much. On to the virtual curtain call. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching
Joanna Mace, played by Alice Gold.
Giles Mace, played by Callum Henderson.
Pearl, played by Emily Britton.
Izzy, played by Ray Bell.
Jake Mace, played by Luke Stone.
Warren, played by Richard Aaron.
Barry, played by Josh Barnett.
Lindy, played by Megan Kerris Holland.
Teddy, played by Adam Rutledge.
Trish Platt, played by Amber Wadey.
Sally Platt, played by Sarah Dare.
Gavin Ringmain, with a Y, played by Nick Kane.
Lucille Cadeau, played by Emily George.
Fran, played by Emma O'Connell.